God, it broke. Hello, this is Juan. My Instagram account is Insurrectionist Marxist. My co-host is at
Boy,
Base
at
God.
Base God Sequoia.
Yes. So this is Marxist Collective. We're a Marxist podcast that seeks to discuss politics and other issues from a Marxist point of view. Today we're going to be talking about environmentalism. Um, or just kind of in general from a Marxist point of view. So do you have a opening statement?
Yeah, fuck lumber companies.
Yes, fuck lumber companies.
We treat worker bad, pay no nothing.
Yeah. If you listened to either of our previous two episodes, you'll know we both live in the Pacific Northwest, um, where there's a lot of lumber or just logging. There's also a lot of like mining. So
Clear cuts.
clear cuts. I mean, there's a lot of cool nature stuff here. But because of that, there's also a lot of shitty destroying the cool nature stuff here. So yeah, it's kind
Yeah,
of
you'll have like a cool like forest in like the Olympic Peninsula, and then it'll get clear cutted, and then there's a fucking tree
yeah,
every foot.
yeah. The tree farms, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, or like you'll like be in a forest and you'll like go around a corner and you'll be like, oh, there's no forest here. Um, and then also like, uh, I don't know. So we lived like 20 miles apart, but the town I lived in, there was mining around it, and like the water got kind of fucked up because of like mining chemicals going in the water. So we would every year when like the water had its testing or whatever, my town would score like I don't know, like just at the threshold of being safe or like sometimes below it. So like mining and that kind of stuff kind of ruins a bunch of stuff.
um, yeah. There's a bunch of like hippie water things, and because like there's a lot of like pollution from mining, at
By
least
hippie
where
water
we both
things, do you mean
live.
like the water is more precious than gold thing?
Yeah, yeah, like that.
Yeah, there's this company that like bottles water and like donates some of it to like actually I just realized I think it's not good. I always thought of it as good, but I think they donate money to like quote unquote sustainable tree farms. I always thought that was like even though it was obviously like a company and making a fair amount of money, like they were good, but I guess actually now that I think about it, they're kind of it's just a liberal point of view on environmentalism, which is why we need things like this, a leftist point of view. But anyway, yeah, there was a water company that did that. So anyway, I guess we should start talking about like what we can actually do about environmentalism. So what do you think we can do? Hello.
Yeah. Sorry, I couldn't like close my keyboard for a second.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, there's a difference a lot between liberal protest, which is like holding up, versus like burning down a bunch of logging trucks and shit like that, which is pretty based.
Yeah. If you haven't
I
heard of
think
the
we have to distinguish ourselves as environmentalists from liberals who are also kind of woke, but not really
yeah,
towards environmental shit.
uh, one of the a way to generalize a problem with liberals is they recognize a problem some of the time anyway, and then proceed to not do anything about it and contribute to it while saying it's a problem, so it's being hypocritical. That's a way to sum up a lot of their just
Big
bullshit.
one there being global warming.
Yeah. So, like, and direct action is what gets stuff done. If you've heard of the Earth Liberation Front, there's other groups too, but they were active specifically in the Pacific Northwest in the 1990s and I think early 2000s too. Um, they would do things like, or there was this one forest that was going to get clear cut, and there was only one road into the forest, so they just camped like on the road and blocked it for like an entire year. Um,
Is like liberal shit, which would just be putting like signs up that say like peace and shit.
yeah, it liberal. I mean, they also a lot of the time do like tiny things that barely address the problem. So like, yeah, banning straws or whatever. I guess it helps, but also like that.
Yeah, but that's like the thing is like the liberals go small or go big on the small things and go little on the big things, whereas we like leftists go big on the big things and little on the little things.
Yeah, and so liberals big things is like legislation. And to leftists big things is like actually like debilitating logging trucks so that they can't log, which that actually does something.
A logging manager can't manage loggers if he's in the hospital.
That's true. And I mean, it's
And we're not saying that we're anti-logger. We're saying we're anti like timber
logging
industry,
company.
basically.
Yeah. I mean, we aren't anti-logger. They're the proletariat.
I have a lot of cousins who are loggers, so
Um,
not the flex.
they're what?
Yeah, I just there's a lot of people in my family that
Uh,
are like loggers.
um, yeah. So like, and then another, just so try and support the logging industry as little as possible. Um, almost
Support
anything
loggers and
wood
not their
is really fucked
employers.
up. Yeah. Uh, yeah, almost anything wood is fucked up. They so there's like the old growth. You've probably heard the term old growth. If you don't know what it means, basically, once trees start growing for like a long, long time, they kind of become like a different kind of ecosystem. It's when you get like the really big trees and like they're I don't know, it's just kind of a different kind of ecosystem. You've seen like the pictures of like redwood trees that are like 20 feet wide. Um, that's what people mean when they say old growth trees. So there's a lot of people today that have probably never seen one. Um, an old growth tree. And because like if you see like a big tree now, it was planted. Uh, it was most likely planted by the logging industry after logging the old growth trees. Um, and a lot of the really big trees that you might still see, the old growth ones, um, a lot of them were uh, started growing like about the same time that Christopher Columbus came over and was like, "Hi, America." Um, so yeah, there's like really old, and that's kind of
White people destroyed the forest.
yeah. So that's why uh when like tree farms and then like we plant 6 trees for every one we cut down. That's why that kind of stuff is bullshit, because it's like destroying an ecosystem and replacing it with a worse one.
Yeah, especially with like the tree farms where it's like systematically planted every like every other foot, and then it's nothing can get through there.
Yeah, and like if like
But there's more trees.
like
No,
it
no, but there's
uh
more.
yeah um or like if you go to a tree farm, it's just a bunch of trees in like rows. It's not a forest. it looks like a farm, not a forest. Uh, if
Yeah, see, that's another liberal thing. Like, they see that, oh, well, there's more trees, so that's fine, but they don't realize that it has, like, a way worse ecological impact than literally just clear cutting the entire thing.
yeah,
Like,
it's that's true. And then like the trees affect more than you would think. Okay, so I don't know if you aren't already kind of an environmentalist. I might sound crazy, but like hear me out. Like trees affect everything down to like the rivers, and I don't mean like the river ecosystems. I mean like the actual physical rivers, because like if when there's like a sustained uh healthy forest, there's not like erosion, and so the rivers are like healthy. So like really, the timber industry is behind a lot of the like shitty stuff that happens or has happened, because like the trees kind of, I guess, hold everything together.
I wonder why they would do that. Hmm,
Could it be for profit?
maybe. Just,
Um,
hmm.
yeah, and there's so much money in the timber industry. Um, it's kind of insane. Uh,
Yeah, but so it's not a problem with the people in power. It's a problem with capitalism. They just want to keep making money and keep planting trees at
yeah,
whatever cost.
and liberals will tell you,
Liberals will tell you that the trees are fine, but they're not.
I mean, they'll say things about like, well, this person's putting in legislation to like regulate the timber industry. Um,
Green New Deal.
yeah, which I mean, the Green New Deal's like okay, and I mean, a lot of liberals don't support it. It's better than nothing. Um, I don't know. I might get shit for saying that. I think a lot of the like social democrat stuff, like this is kind of a tangent, but I mean, there's gonna be another president. Why not make it one where people will get free college or whatever? Not that Bernie's good, but why not have free college?
I'm
If
gonna look something up real quick. So,
all right,
just
I just looked something up, so I'll talk about that. Weyerhaeuser. Uh, actually, oh, they're headquartered near me ish. Um, so they make 7 or they're um, the biggest in the U.S. and one of the world's largest owners of timberland. And they make $7.2 billion a year. Uh, so like they're clear. I mean, it's if you couldn't already tell, the destruction of the environment is profit driven. Um, and like it's the companies that are at fault in capitalism. So yeah, I mean, if you, I don't want to get taken off YouTube, so I'll just say that please perform direct actions against timber companies to protect the environment. Um, you can decide what direct action means. Um, just because I don't want to get like striked for violence or whatever, but yeah, that's like the no nothing. I mean, most of you, if you're listening to this, probably already know that like um, reform doesn't do anything, but if you think you can like lobby your timber company or whatever, you can't. You need to do direct action. Did you finish looking up what you were looking up?
yeah, I was just looking up Marx's stance on like ecology,
Hmm.
and I came up with he came up with this idea of the social metabolic relation between society and nature, and that the capitalist system exploits nature more than nature exploits society, is what I came off as the meaning of that. So yeah, I would. It's an action of capitalist society, obviously, but
Yeah,
There's more to that. Which, so, you know, again, scientific, not utopian.
for sure. And then uh, uh, sorry, my microphone turned off. For sure. Um, I'm not Ted pilled, but Ted Kaczynski was right about a lot of things.
The
Regarding
Industrial Revolution and its
not that it's
consequences.
I mean, in my opinion, it's how capitalism utilizes technology, not technology itself. Um, but like, there's like really fucked up stuff being done to the environment. Ted Kaczynski told like some Fed a story um about how he heard like a bird chirping one day, uh, and he like listened to the bird chirping, and it he realized that it was chirping like a car alarm, like it was imitating a car alarm, and he was like, "What the hell?" Because like um it's not even like nature adapting to the human race, it's just kind of the human race overtaking nature. So no, I'm not an Anprim or anything, but we seriously need to like really like overhaul some stuff. Um, we talked about this a bit in our Cascadia episode too. If you haven't listened to it, you should go listen to it. But the clean energy is really important because like the uh dams and nuclear energy and coal are all really shitty. Um, we have here in Washington where we both live. We have these like big kind of tombs of like nuclear waste because there was a nuclear plant. It's near, if you know where Spokane, Washington is, it's just a little bit northwest of there. But it's just these really weird, like radioactive pits. Um, and if I'm ranting, it's because my co-host said 1 sec. So I'm talking until he gets back. Um, but yeah, clean energy is important. You can call Cascadia call Cascadian Independence bourgeois if you want to. Um, I mean, it's really not though. It's freeing the proletariat that's been enslaved by gentrifying companies like Amazon and Microsoft. Um, just like for starters, and then also it's really important uh, step towards or step just in environmentalism because like can you give me one no none of you listening can tell me one country who was founded on like a fundamental principle of environmentalism, um which
Bhutan,
well oh this is
Costa Rica.
are you back?
Yeah,
Okay. Um, do you have something to say?
I just heard what you were saying, and like just like ecologically somewhat good countries. Those are the only two I could think of. Costa
Oh,
Rica and
yeah,
then
but
Bhutan.
were they founded for
No,
environmentalism? No. And I was just talking about how Cascadia would. Uh, well, oh right, you looked up the Marxism thing. Um,
no, that that was yeah. I don't.
uh,
But yeah,
okay,
family. Mi
family.
familia.
I see. Okay. Um, so is there anything else we should cover in this episode?
Um, did you talk about like on because like I only heard a little bit about Cascadia, but did you do like just more than like a sentence on my Cascadia? It's like
Oh yeah, I did.
eco-friendly.
Um,
And I'll
I
just I'll give myself my insight on that. So yeah, I mean, literally the main reason that most people support Cascadia is bioregionalism, which is inherently ecological, other than the fact because it's a very ecologically similar region. It's diverse, but it's pretty similar throughout. So, and all the people are liberals, so they're kind of ecologically woke. But I mean, still, I mean, it's better than nothing. But
and
so
I
I would
mean
still say,
Cascadia, or I mean it was pretty leftist before gentrification,
yeah. So,
and like a principle of it is degentrification. So
which is you could assume is kind of ecologically friendly because you're just getting rid of businesses, and businesses, as Mark said, exploit nature more than nature exploits businesses. So it's kind of a win-win, degentrifying an ecology
yeah,
in the whole bioregionalism thing of Cascadia.
yeah, for sure.
But
One interesting
I'm
thing though is that the
I'll admit it,
companies.
I'm kind of retarded.
What?
You know, from the Alex Jones thing where he's
Oh
like, I'm
yeah,
kind of retarded.
yeah. Okay. The one thing that's kind of funny though is the like timber companies and stuff were before gentrification. The big timber company I mentioned earlier is headquartered in Seattle, and it was founded in 1900, and that's because that's for I mean a lot of the proletariat works for those companies here. Um, so I mean, the I mean we have
Capital
to get rid of them.
accumulation because
Hmm.
like my dad tried to start his own timber company, but there was
Gross.
like there's just so many already so wealthy, so powerful like timber companies here that you just can't.
Yeah. That's true.
Ecology proves capitalism suck.
Yeah. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and put the link to the Anarchist Cookbook PDF in the bio. By the way, and you can go ahead and get some ideas for direct action there, if you know what I'm saying.
Blow up a logging truck, not with a logger in it. Don't do that. Don't murder people
Yeah.
unless they're um, white people that own companies that relate to logging. Then kill them. That's fine.
Not
But
these that
just to
relate to logging.
not just, no, but for the ecological part,
Yeah.
do that.
And like,
But
dig holes in logging
see a dude in a
roads.
hard hat, and you see a dude in a hard hat and suspenders, but don't kill him. Kill the dude in the tie.
Hmm. For sure.
Blow up the dude with the ties truck. Just do that. Just go to every like logging site near you and just blow up the dude with the ties truck.
Yeah. Or if you look at what the ELF did, they just like take a bunch of gasoline and just set trucks on fire to
Yeah, just do that.
yeah.
Or,
Uh
hire your own logger cooperative. I don't think that's a thing. So somebody start.
or like I mentioned, tree spiking. Just put a spike in a tree, and you know the saw can't go through the tree. Then I mean it can,
And
but
again, we're not anti-logger. We're
yeah.
just anti-logging establishment.
And YouTube, if you're listening, this is all ironic. We YouTube, if you're listening, we do not support or condone violence of any kind. For the record, isn't that right?
We only condone violence against trucks.
Yeah, we're advocating no violence against people. YouTube.
And trucks they let out a lot of emissions.
Yep.
So be violent against them. Fuck trucks, dude. Hashtag
Anti-truck
anti-truck
action.
action.
Yeah. So I think that's just about it for what we have today. You agree?
Pretty late epic.
Yeah. All right. So thank you for listening or whatever. We will be back in roughly a week for episode 2.5, Cascadian News. Yeah, bye.
Fuck trucks.
Fuck trucks.